Own KBOI2's Morgan Wagner. And Morgan, we wanted to talk to you about Jardo because you just saw Jardo about 48 hours ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago we got our first chance to see Jardo, and Natalie, I mean, this is devastating. He was in such great spirits. He rolled over for his owner, one of those sweet belly rubs, jumping up for treats. He had like a little cast on his arm, and they said that was from a totally different incident way before this happened. So you would think being shot in the chest, getting that bullet lodged in his throat, he wouldn't be walking around like he was in that video. And I expected him to limp a little bit. He had been grazed on the back leg by a bullet. He was in great spirits. You would never think that today this is where we're at.
Well, and we kept commenting over and over again on how remarkable it was that Jardo, they were talking about him being back to limited work on the force within 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we had seen him do great, and they'd even talked about when he was shot and still had that bullet lodged in his neck. He was great. You couldn't really tell that he was really even hurting at that point, because he was in such great spirits, still very connected to his handler, still very connected to all the officers who were there supporting him that night and through this progress today.
And sometimes a sign can be that, they'll stop eating or, drinking water. But in this case, he was out and about in the community at the community vigil for the human officers. And it's just such a shock, I think, to everyone.
Yeah, I also had talked to his handlers that day at the veterinary clinic. And, they talked about he is eating great, he was walking around, actually resting, which he was a very, obviously, determined dog to do his job, but he was resting a little bit. The only thing that was really ever hurting him was when he was walking down the stairs, stretching out a little bit, but that was hopefully to be expected, and that would get better. Unfortunately, it didn't.
Yeah, and at that point, no indication at all that his recovery would go south.
No, and he had saw one of the donor dogs had given him blood during surgery that day. He had saw another dog who was being trained by the Boise Police Department for an older couple to train for disabilities, and a friendly dog. When we saw him with Corporal Chris Davis, you could just see both of them light up. He was just a great part of this department, and he's going to be missed a lot.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Well.